At the start of the drama, we're introduced to the main character, Lin Chin. She walks into a tense board of directors meeting, accompanied by her personal bodyguard. Following a recent accident, Lin Chin has lost her vision and is now blind. Due to her condition, she must be accompanied by protection at all times. The man acting as her bodyguard is none other than the male lead, Xiao Mu, a calm, capable, and strikingly handsome individual. Just before she enters the meeting, Lin Chin receives a call from her fiancé, Qian. He sounds frantic and warns her not to go through with the meeting, telling her that a trap has been laid for her and that the situation is highly dangerous. Despite his warnings, Lin Chin refuses to back down. She is determined to take responsibility for her late father's business and says she is prepared to face whatever risks lie ahead. Security, however, doesn't permit bodyguards inside the room. To make sure he can still protect her, Xiao Mu removes his necklace, placing it around her neck. He explains that the pendant has a hidden emergency button. If she senses any danger or something goes wrong, when she wakes up, she's back at home. Xiao Mu has been taking care of her, tending to her fever. She confronts him harshly, accusing him of being her father's killer. She says that he has been deceiving her by pretending to be her loyal bodyguard. Xiao Mu defends himself, saying that she has no evidence, and reminds her that she can't fire him. He was hired by her father, and there's a contract to prove it. To back up his claim, he plays a voice recording of her father, confirming Xiao Mu's employment for a 5-year period. Lin Chin isn't convinced. She demands proof that he didn't murder her father. A flashback reveals that on the night in question, Xiao Mu had kissed Lin Chin, not out of affection, but to distract someone. Furious at the kiss, Lin Chin had picked up a knife and slashed him. Thinking back on that moment, she remembers how deep the cut was and wonders if the scar remains. Determined, she tells him to take off his shirt so she can see if the scar is still there. He hesitates, pointing out that she's engaged and should have more modesty. But she insists, reaching out to touch his chest. Her hand lands over his heart, and she notices how fast it's beating. When she questions it, Xiao Mu shyly admits it's the first time a woman has touched him like this, and of course his heart would race. She eventually finds the scar, and Xiao Mu begins to show her other marks from injuries he's received while protecting her. Embarrassed and overwhelmed, Lin Chin leaves the room quickly. She goes to speak with her fiancé, Qian, and finds him with another woman, Wei. Wei lives with Lin Chin, posing as a close childhood friend and the daughter of their housekeeper. Lin Chin trusts her completely and is unaware that Wei is actually having an affair with Qian. Distraught, Lin Chin opens up to Qian. She says she doesn't trust her bodyguard. She recalls seeing Xiao Mu sneaking into her house on the night of her father's death, going up to meet him and hearing an argument between them. She is convinced that Xiao Mu killed her father. Qian tries to soothe her, suggesting that she's confusing trauma with reality. He insists there was no forced entry, no signs of foul play, and that her father's death was ruled natural. Another flashback reveals that Lin Chin had suffered a fall on the stairs that night, resulting in a brain injury. This injury caused temporary vision problems, and doctors said her sight could recover with time. Later that night, after Lin Chin has gone to bed, Xiao Mu sneaks into her father's study to search for some documents. Suspicious, Lin Chin follows him. When a book nearly falls on her, Xiao Mu steps in to protect her, revealing himself in the process. She accuses him again and demands to see the security footage from the hidden camera in the study. Xiao Mu hands over the footage, and Lin Chin gives it to Wei to review, trusting her completely. However, Wei secretly alters the footage, editing out the incriminating parts. When the footage is shown to the group, there's nothing unusual in it. Qian tells her again that her suspicions are wrong, and her father's passing was just a tragic accident. Later, Wei confesses to Qian that she destroyed the memory card that had real evidence. Qian, relieved, takes it from her. Meanwhile, Xiao Mu returns to a hidden location where he has someone tied up, the real Xiao Mu. In a shocking twist, we learn that the man posing as Xiao Mu is actually named Chen Mo. He stole the real bodyguard's identity and infiltrated the Lin household under false pretenses. His goal? To retrieve documents Mr. Lin had taken from his own father, documents that could clear his dad's name. Chen Mo's father's business was destroyed, leading to his death, and Chen Mo is determined to uncover the truth. The next morning, Chen Mo quietly places a white rose beside Lin Qin's bed and prepares her favorite coffee, just the way she likes it. Still wary, she accuses him of pretending to be someone he's not. He calmly tells her he only wants to protect her and suggests they go have breakfast together. Downstairs, Wei is already waiting with a bowl of porridge, intending to feed it to Lin Qin, possibly with something harmful in it. But Chen Mo intervenes just in time and stops her, making it clear to Wei that he's watching. Wei realizes then that as long as the bodyguard is around, they won't be able to execute their plans against Lin Qin. He must be eliminated if they want to succeed. After her longtime housemaid suddenly stops coming to work, Lin Sen finds herself struggling to adapt. Her blindness makes everyday tasks difficult, and she often bumps into things, but her bodyguard stays by her side, supporting her patiently. He lifts her into the car, fastens her seatbelt, and calmly says, "Your father hired me for this job. I've already been paid in full. I'm just fulfilling my duty." As they near their destination, the road becomes blocked, so Lin Sen insists they continue on foot. While walking, she grows sarcastic and mocks him, saying, "Why not just leave me here? A car will hit me and end everything. Isn't that what you want?" He sees through her attempt to provoke him and warns her, "If I truly wanted you gone, I had many chances. Stop trying to record a confession. Let's just go to Miss Wang's house." Meanwhile, back at home, Yue puts on Lin Sen's engagement ring and sits comfortably in her room, a subtle sign of her betrayal. At Miss Wang's house, the bodyguard returns Lin Sen's necklace and goes inside alone to investigate. But he doesn't realize that it's an ambush. Men attack him inside, while others surround Lin Sen outside, threatening her. "Your fiancé paid us well. We'll keep hurting you until you give the money back," they sneer. Suddenly, the bodyguard bursts out of the house and shields Lin Sen. He lifts her and fights off the attackers, even taking a knife wound in her place. Seeing him bleed, Lin Sen faints. He carries her away to safety. Once home, it's revealed that the attack was orchestrated by Chi-san and Yue. They had hoped to eliminate the bodyguard, but Lin Sen's presence ruined their plan. Yue tells Chi-san not to worry. Lin Sen is already suspicious of her bodyguard and will likely fire him soon. At the same time, Lin Sen is visibly shaken. She tends to the bodyguard's injury, and when he wakes, he's embarrassed. She tells him to stay in bed and rest, but he insists he'll continue his duties. "Why are you suddenly being kind to me?" he asks. "Don't you still think I killed your father?" She replies, "You protected me today, and I'm thankful. But no, I haven't stopped suspecting you." Later, as he drifts to sleep, the bodyguard dreams of Lin Sen. He imagines her standing beside him and reaches out, asking what she wants, only to find his friend Xiao Mu standing there. Xiao Mu came to check on him and urges him to stay out of this situation. "Why are you risking your life for her?" he asks. Lin Sen also enters at that moment, bringing medicine. The bodyguard quickly escorts her out before she sees Xiao Mu. The next morning, the bodyguard gently teaches Lin Sen how to navigate the dining table, where her water glass is, how to safely eat, and how to sit securely. After breakfast, Chi-san calls her to discuss her father's funeral. The autopsy has concluded it was an accidental death. No one killed him. It's time to lay him to rest. That evening, at the ceremony, Lin Sen mourns deeply. The bodyguard quietly brings her soup and comforts her, sharing a bit about his own past. His father, too, had passed away, but unlike her father's peaceful farewell, his father's funeral was a disaster, invaded by debt collectors. A flashback reveals his father had been betrayed by close friends after investing everything he had, leading to his suicide. The following day, a maid tells Lin Sen someone delivered a flash drive along with a message. "I am your well-wisher. Your bodyguard is not really Xiao Mu." Since she cannot see, she asks Yue, whom she trusts, to check it for her. The contents reveal that her bodyguard is actually Chen Mo, a cardiac surgeon, not the real Xiao Mu. It also mentions a scar on his abdomen. Her doubts increase. That evening, when Chen Mo arrives, she offers him a drink, saying, "My father is gone, and so is yours. Let's drink to our grief." He declines at first, but she insists. Once he seems asleep, she quietly tries to unbutton his shirt to look for the scar. But Chen Mo grabs her hand and says, "It's dangerous to try undressing a drunk man." She confronts him. "You're not Xiao Mu, you're Chen Mo." He admits it, but insists, "Yes, I changed my identity. But I did not kill your father. I had my reasons and I would never hurt you. Stop wasting time doubting me. Focus on those around you. Do you even know who they really are?" Chen Mo then confronts the real Xiao Mu, grabbing him by the collar. Xiao Mu defends himself, saying, "I told her the truth because you're putting yourself at risk for her. She's the daughter of the man who destroyed your father." The next day, Lin Sen waits, wondering if Chen Mo has abandoned his job. But he returns with important information and takes her to meet her old maid, the one who mysteriously quit. The maid explains that after Lin Sen's accident, her father took her to the hospital himself. When he returned home, Chizan and Yue came to see him. Later, she found Mr. Lin unconscious. At that moment, Chizan and Yue were still inside. This revelation shocks Lin Sen. She finally sees the people Chen Mo warned her about. The ones she trusted, her fiancé and close friend, had lied to her. Now, she begins to understand. Her father's death may not have been as simple as it seemed. The longtime maid of Lin Sen's household suddenly stopped showing up, and Lin Sen, who is struggling with her blindness, finds herself increasingly helpless. She bumps into things constantly, but her bodyguard supports her, lifting her, placing her in the car, and even buckling her seatbelt. He reminds her that he's simply fulfilling the job her father hired him to do, and that he's already been paid. As they near their destination, Lin Sen tells him to stop the car and says they should walk the rest of the way, claiming the road is blocked. He carefully assists her across the street, but she begins to mock him. "Isn't this the perfect time for you to get rid of me?" she taunts. "Leave me here and let a car hit me. You'll be free." The bodyguard stays calm and replies, "You're sly. Are you trying to secretly record me again for evidence?" He tells her bluntly that if he had wanted her dead, there were many earlier opportunities on the road. He urges her to stop overthinking and simply come with him to Miss Wong's house. He picks up her cane and guides her there. Meanwhile, Yu Wei is sitting in Lin Sen's room, putting on her engagement ring. When they arrive at Miss Wong's home, the bodyguard returns Lin Sen's necklace and heads inside to investigate. But it's a trap. Several men are lying in wait outside. While he's fighting them off inside the house, more men surround Lin Sen outdoors. One threatens her. "Your fiancé paid us a lot. We'll keep torturing you until you give back the money." Just in time, the bodyguard defeats the attackers inside and rushes out to protect Lin Sen. He picks her up, shielding her as he fends off the thugs. One attacker pulls a knife. The bodyguard steps in front of Lin Sen, taking the stab wound himself. Lin Sen faints at the sight. He carries her away. Back home, the bodyguard discovers that the entire ambush was orchestrated by Qi Shan and Yu Wei. Their goal had been to lure the bodyguard there and eliminate him, but their plan failed because Lin Sen unexpectedly accompanied him. Yu Wei tries to reassure Qi Shan that Lin Sen already has doubts about the bodyguard and will eventually fire him herself. That night, Lin Sen anxiously tends to the bodyguard's wound. When he wakes, He's embarrassed and pulls his shirt back on. She tells him he shouldn't move and must rest, but he insists that he'll continue with his duties. "Why are you being kind to me now?" he asks. "Don't you still suspect I killed your father?" She replies, "You risked your life for me. I'm grateful. But that doesn't mean I've stopped suspecting you." She walks away, and the bodyguard lies back, haunted by memories of their time together. He imagines her standing near him, but when he asks what she wants, it turns out to be his friend Xiao Mu instead. Xiao Mu is worried Chen Mo, the bodyguard, hasn't returned home. He warns him, "Why are you getting involved in this? You're risking too much for her." Just then, Lin Sen enters with medicine. To avoid suspicion, Chen Mo quickly grabs her and ushers her back to the room so she doesn't see Xiao Mu. The next morning, Chen Mo assists Lin Sen to the dining table and begins teaching her how to function better with her blindness, showing her where the water glass and milk are placed, how to eat carefully, and how to protect herself. After breakfast, Qishan calls Lin Sen to discuss her father's funeral. The autopsy confirms an accidental death. Qishan says it's time to arrange a proper burial. At the funeral, Lin Sen breaks down in grief. The bodyguard quietly brings her soup and tries to comfort her, sharing that he understands her pain. His own father died, but under harsh circumstances. Debt collectors caused chaos at the funeral because his father had borrowed money and lost everything due to betrayal. Ultimately, his father took his own life. The next morning, a maid brings Lin Sen a mysterious pen drive and message that says, "I'm your well-wisher. Your bodyguard is not the real Xiao Mu." Because Lin Sen can't see, she turns to Yu Wei for help. Yu Wei examines the files and discovers that the man with Lin Sen is actually Dr. Chen Mo, a cardiac surgeon, and not Xiao Mu. She also learns he has a scar on his abdomen. These revelations only deepen Lin Sen's suspicion. That evening, she invites Chen Mo for a drink and says, "Your father's gone. So is mine. Let's share a drink in their memory." Chen Mo declines at first but relents when she insists. Once she believes he's drunk, she tries to unbutton his shirt to find the scar. He catches her and pulls her close, saying, "It's dangerous to undress a drunk man." She responds, "I need to see the scar. I know you're not Xiao Mu, you're Chen Mo." He confirms her suspicion but adds, "I didn't kill your father. Yes, I used a fake identity to get close to you, but I have my own reasons. I'd never hurt you. Look at those around you instead." After leaving, Chen Mo confronts the real Xiao Mu, furious that he leaked the truth to Lin Sen. Xiao Mu defends himself. "You're risking too much for her. Don't forget she's the daughter of the man who destroyed your father." The next day, Lin Sen anxiously waits for Chen Mo, fearing he might have quit. But he returns and takes her to see the maid who had suddenly quit. The maid reveals that on the day Lin Sen fell down the stairs, her father rushed her to the hospital. After returning home, he met with Qishan and Yu Wei. Later, she saw him unconscious in his study, dying, with Qishan and Yu Wei still present. This confirms Chen Mo's warnings and causes Lin Sen to suspect both Qishan and Yu Wei deeply. Everything begins to fall into place: the lies, the manipulations, the betrayal. In a heated moment, Chen Mo grabs Lin Sen and kisses her, trying to comfort her in her emotional state. She forcefully pushes him away, furious, and calls him shameless. In her anger, she throws away the necklace he gave her and storms out. Heartbroken, Chen Mo is left devastated and turns to drinking. His friend Xiao Mu reminds him that love only brings pain, and this situation is proof. But Chen Mo isn't concerned about his own suffering. His thoughts are consumed by Lin Sen's well-being. Xiao Mu advises him to distance himself, saying Lin Sen has now seen who he really is, and further involvement might only harm her. Chen Mo disappears from work the next day. Around the same time, Lin Sen receives a visit from a lawyer with her late father's will. To everyone's shock, the will names Lin Sen as the sole heir to all his assets, including shares and property. Both Chishan and Uwei, who had hoped to gain control of the inheritance, are visibly disturbed by the revelation. Linsun notices their reaction, but pretends not to. She quietly presses her fingerprint on the document, faking blindness the whole time. Later, Xiaomu visits Linsun and shares how deeply Chenmo has been hurt by their conflict. He tells her that Chenmo drinks constantly and has risked his life for her more times than she realizes, all because he's in love with her. This revelation stuns Linsun. She decides to go see Chenmo herself. When she finds him, she makes an unexpected announcement. From now on, he will no longer be her bodyguard, but her personal assistant. Chenmo is visibly confused and embarrassed by her proposal. She explains that since she knows he cares about her, it's best to keep him close. Chenmo shows her a document, a section of her father's will. Her father had known she was in danger and had specifically left her everything to protect her from Chishan, who might try to seize her wealth. Hearing this, Linsun agrees to work with Chenmo, and they head home together. Chishan and Uwei are shocked to see Chenmo back at her side, especially in an even more trusted role. But Linsun explains that even if he is an enemy, it's better to keep enemies close where she can monitor them. Linsun then announces that her birthday is in 2 days and insists they celebrate properly. At her birthday party, Uwei arrives and gives her birthday wishes. During the gift discussions, Linsun brings up an engagement ring, supposedly gifted by Chishan, claiming it's gone missing. She vividly describes the ring's details, then grabs Uwei's hand in front of everyone. To the guests' surprise, the ring Linsun describes is on Uwei's finger. Uwei insists she didn't steal it and argues that Linsun is like family. But Linsun holds up the ring and accuses her of trying to steal both the ring and her fiancé. The guests are disgusted with Uwei, and Chishan doesn't defend her, clearly ashamed. Linsun sits back satisfied, watching Uwei's humiliation unfold, but Chenmo privately advises her not to escalate things. She insists she's just playing their game better than they are and is planning to turn Chishan and Uwei against each other. Though Chenmo is jealous and concerned, he tries not to show it. Later, Uwei begs Chishan for forgiveness and asks to be thrown out for causing trouble. But Linsun surprisingly forgives her, intending to keep an eye on her. Afterward, Uwei scolds Chishan for not defending her, and he snaps that she nearly ruined everything. Chishan is growing suspicious of Chenmo and believes he's the one who informed Linsun about their schemes. Determined to eliminate the threat, Chishan contacts a criminal group to arrange an attack on Chenmo. The next day, while returning from the hospital, Linsun and Uwei are ambushed by goons. The target was Chenmo, not Linsun, and he manages to get her to safety. When she returns home, she is deeply worried about him. Upon his return, she hugs him tightly, noticing blood on his shoulder. But he reassures her that the blood isn't his. Chenmo is secretly happy that she was concerned for him. Meanwhile, Uwei tells Chishan that during the attack, Linsun acted as though she could see. She suggests that they be extra cautious moving forward, as she may have regained her sight. Later, Chenmo warns Linsun to avoid danger, revealing that the attackers were meant for him. She worries that her involvement with him is putting him at risk and asks whether he likes her. Chenmo evades, teasingly asking if she's becoming attached to him. She brushes it off, saying he's just her employee and she's merely fulfilling her responsibility. That night, Linsun sneaks into her father's old study, now used by Chishan, and finds documents that reveal Chishan and Uwei had insured her life for 60 million and also stole money from her accounts. Just as Chishan is about to enter the study, she hides behind a wall and listens in. Realizing someone had been in the room, Chishan becomes suspicious. Just in time, Chenmo arrives to divert his attention. He confronts Chishan, pretending to be angry about the hired goons and accuses him of betrayal, all to protect Linsun's identity. Chenmo hands Chishan the contact of an underworld figure who could help launder the stolen money. After distracting Chishan, He returns to Linson and scolds her for taking such a risk. She confesses that she is scared for her life and needed answers. Chenmo promises to protect her and help gather the evidence she needs. However, Chishan is double-crossed by the underworld contact. He also finds out that the 51% shares he's been looking for are actually in Chenmo's possession. Enraged, he confronts Chenmo, who openly admits to owning the shares. Chenmo threatens him, saying any police investigation would bring up not only fraud, but also the murder of Linson's father. He warns Chishan that Linson has kept a hair strand from her father for DNA testing, a trap Chenmo orchestrated. Later, they check surveillance footage and see Chishan sneaking into Linson's room to find the hair. He had lied to Chenmo and is now exposed. Linson is heartbroken, finally realizing Chishan killed her father. She returns to the study, where Chishan approaches her and tries to test if she can see by waving a pen near her eyes. She doesn't flinch, maintaining the illusion of blindness. Afterward, she quietly leaves the room. Back in her bedroom, Chenmo kisses her again, expressing his frustration and fear. He tells her she's important and shouldn't risk herself. This time, Linson kisses him back, showing her feelings have changed. Chenmo later takes her with him to visit his sick mother. On the way, he opens up about his past, how his father's company went bankrupt, how he had to quit school to support his mother, and how his desperation once led him to change Mr. Lin's will. Linson is touched by his honesty and embraces him. Just then, a thug appears and attacks them. Chenmo sends Linson to safety and fights back, but is wounded. Linson returns, fakes a police siren to scare the thug away, and brings Chenmo home to tend to his injuries. As she bandages him, she asks how many times he will keep saving her. Chenmo calmly replies that it's his job, and her safety will always be his priority. Chenmo firmly tells Linson not to handle Chishan on her own. He insists that she go to the police, explaining that he's already gathered solid evidence of Chishan's criminal actions. Enough to have him arrested immediately. When Linson hears how dangerous the situation is, especially the risk to Chenmo's life, she becomes extremely anxious. Trying to soothe her, Chenmo gently kisses her on the forehead before heading out. He then confronts Chishan directly, barging into his place and grabbing him by the collar. He demands to know why Chishan keeps sending thugs after him. Chishan brazenly admits he hired a violent gang to kill Chenmo, and they've been ordered to make 3 attempts. According to him, they never fail. Chenmo threatens to end everything by killing Chishan then and there, but he knows that could create even more danger. Instead, the two strike a tense and uneasy agreement. If Chenmo agrees to transfer 51% of the LY Group's shares to Chishan and stay away from Linson forever, she will be safe. Chenmo turns down the offer, saying he doesn't care about wealth or power. Linson is the only thing that matters to him. When he returns home, he finds a surprise. Linson had secretly ordered a cake for his birthday, something he hadn't celebrated in years. Deeply moved by her gesture, he tells her the only gift he wants is a kiss. Though she hesitates at first, she eventually kisses him. Overjoyed, Chenmo kisses her back, overwhelmed with happiness and love. Later, while they are spending time together, Linson notices a scar on Chenmo's back. She recalls a terrifying moment years ago when her car nearly exploded, and she believed Chishan was the one who saved her. But now, seeing Chenmo's scar, she realizes it was him who rescued her that day. He had been cut by flying glass while pulling her to safety. The memory shifts everything she thought she knew. That evening, they stand watching the sunset together. Chenmo gently asks her to express her feelings for him, and Linson smiles, telling him that her kiss the night before said everything she couldn't put into words. However, the following morning, Linson wakes up to find Chenmo gone. He didn't leave a note, a message, or even a phone number. Heartbroken and confused, she assumes he abandoned her. But in truth, Chenmo left to face the third and final assassination attempt alone. determined to protect her from further danger. He confides in Jiaomu, saying this upcoming attack may be the most brutal yet. Handing over his credit card and a significant sum of money, he tells Jiaomu to give everything to Linsen, including her father's shares, in case he doesn't survive. Jiaomu, unable to accept the idea of Chenmo sacrificing himself, secretly watches over Linsen. She eventually catches him and quickly realizes what's going on. She confronts him, accusing him of being less clever than Chenmo, and demands to be taken to him. When he refuses, she decides to follow him herself. Meanwhile, Chenmo successfully survives the final attack. The gang, bound by its code of conduct, hands him a letter stating that after 3 failed attempts, the contract is terminated. They commend him for his resilience and vow never to target him again. Shortly after, Jiaomu tricks Chenmo into coming home by falsely claiming that Linsen is in danger. When Chenmo arrives, he finds both Jiaomu and Linsen drunk. Jiaomu quickly leaves the two of them alone, explaining that Linsen challenged him to a drinking game, and he lost. In her intoxicated state, Linsen becomes emotional and admits that she's in love with Chenmo and can't imagine her life without him. Chenmo leans in to kiss her, but unexpectedly passes out before he can. The next morning, Linsen lovingly prepares breakfast for him and admits that she hadn't noticed his injury the night before. While looking for coffee beans, she stumbles upon a folder containing documents. Inside, she finds proof that her father had transferred 50% of his shares to Chenmo. She also discovers detailed personal notes about her birthday, her habits, her likes and dislikes, all meticulously recorded by Chenmo. Realizing he might have entered her life with hidden motives, she confronts him. Chenmo admits there's a complicated and painful history between their families that he kept secret to protect their relationship. He fears that if she knew the full truth, she'd never be able to love him again. Feeling betrayed and uncertain, Linsen tells him that unless he can be honest, she can't continue being with him. She leaves, heartbroken. Later, UAE appears and begins mocking Linsen, saying she always suspected she was faking her blindness. UAE then drops a shocking truth. Linsen's father was responsible for Chenmo's father's death. This new revelation adds another layer of guilt and confusion to Linsen's world. Chishan, meanwhile, is livid that his final attempt to kill Chenmo failed. He's financially and emotionally ruined, having spent everything to bring Chenmo down. Desperate, he decides his only option is to marry Linsen and extract what little benefit he can. UAE is crushed when she realizes Chishan never loved her. He had simply used her all along. Chishan attempts to manipulate Linsen again, claiming UAE misled him. But Linsen refuses to believe him. She accuses him of killing her father and trying to steal his DNA by taking his hair. He admits to the murder and even threatens her life, but Linsen stands firm, daring him to follow through. Chishan backs down and instead says he will marry her. When he tries to force himself on her, Chenmo arrives in the nick of time and saves her once again. Chenmo scolds Linsen for putting herself in danger by trying to gather evidence with a hidden camera. He then tells her the truth about their families, that her father was the reason his life was destroyed. Chenmo had hidden this from her, afraid it would ruin whatever they had built. Linsen, overcome with guilt, acknowledges how much Chenmo has done for her. She begs him to stay away from her, believing their shared past is too painful to overcome. Though she tries to push him away, Chenmo continues to look after her from a distance. He doesn't interfere in her life, but remains nearby in case she ever needs him. On one rainy day, while protecting her silently from afar, he gets drenched and falls ill. When Linsen hears he's sick, she rushes to see him. Chenmo questions why she pretends not to care, and she lashes out, saying she feels nothing for him. He responds by kissing her, and this time, she doesn't hold back. She kisses him back, and in that moment, they leave their grief and resentment behind. They begin to spend peaceful and affectionate time together, finally allowing themselves to enjoy their love. But just when it seems like their troubles are over, Chishan contacts Linsen, asking her to meet him again. Chishan begins pressuring Linsen with serious threats. He tells her that if she doesn't marry him quietly, he'll launch a damaging smear campaign against her and her company. He reminds her that her late father's company is all she has left of him, and if she doesn't comply, he'll ruin it completely. He also threatens to hurt Chenmo if she resists. Frightened by his intimidation, Linsen goes back home, visibly shaken. Chenmo hugs her and, trying to comfort her, says he had a nightmare where she left him. Linsen reassures him, saying she had only gone out to grab some food. Later, she visits Uwei and takes off her engagement ring, giving it to her. Linsen tells her that even though she still despises Chishan, it's Uwei's betrayal that hurt the most. They were childhood friends, and that emotional wound cuts deeper. Linsen coldly tells her, "You always wanted to wear this ring. Here, you can have it," before walking away. Soon after, Chenmo uncovers another painful truth. Their fathers, Linsen's and Chishan's, were once close allies. It was Chishan's father who manipulated Linsen's dad into betraying Chenmo's family. Upset, Chenmo seeks out Uwei and confronts her about the video footage from the day Linsen's father died. He accuses her of editing out incriminating evidence against Chishan. Chenmo leaves her with a final message. If she ever wants to do the right thing, she knows how to find him. Meanwhile, Chishan discovers that Uwei never deleted the original video. The footage clearly shows him being involved in Mr. Lin's death. Furious, he attacks Uwei, grabbing a weapon and striking her in an attempt to destroy all remaining evidence. Before fleeing, he wipes all data from his laptop and memory cards. However, he doesn't know that Uwei, in her final moments, managed to hide a duplicate memory card. Elsewhere, Linsen and Chenmo are spending a seemingly quiet evening together. Linsen gets Chenmo drunk while speaking sweetly, but Chenmo senses something is off, like she's trying too hard to create a perfect moment. The next morning, he's gone. Linsen finds a heartfelt letter from him saying, "I am your bodyguard. I will always protect you." He had left to confront Chishan one final time. During their confrontation, Chishan tells Chenmo that he has lost everything because of him and vows revenge. Chenmo, ready to sacrifice himself, tells Chishan to spare Linsen, saying he'll fight to the death if necessary. A brutal battle begins between Chenmo and Chishan's men. Despite being outnumbered and severely injured, Chenmo holds his ground. At the same time, Xiaomu tries to find Uwei, but is devastated when he discovers her lifeless body. Clutched in her hand is the hidden memory card, a final act of courage to expose Chishan. The card contains the full, unedited footage of Chishan killing Mr. Lin. Back at the fight scene, Chishan joins in personally, taunting Chenmo and saying that the real punishment hasn't even begun. Linsen suddenly arrives just in time, horrified by the bloodshed. Chishan grabs her and, in a twisted power move, forces Chenmo to beg for her life. When Chenmo complies, Chishan kisses Linsen to provoke him, but Chenmo, finding strength from his love for Linsen, disarms Chishan, and the two men engage in a vicious fight. Chishan is gravely wounded, but Chenmo also collapses. Linsen rushes to his side, sobbing and calling for help. Chenmo looks at her and whispers that he had warned her never to put herself in harm's way. Then he loses consciousness. Thanks to the video evidence, Chishan is arrested and charged with fraud and murder. The truth about his crimes finally comes to light, and justice is served. Afterward, Linsen prepares a bouquet to visit her father's grave. As she steps outside, she is stunned to see Chenmo, alive and well, waiting for her. He smiles and tells her he is now her lifelong protector. The two share a tender moment, and it's clear they have finally found peace. Their love has survived every trial, and now they can finally look toward a future together.